that plus, I also play the saxophone as well. So.
Oh shit! You play the saxophone?
Yeah.
Like proper?
Yeah, I've been playing for 10 years.
Okay. Now here's the thing. I'm just asking though.
Uh-huh.
I my podcast needs something like for the intro.
Okay.
And I've been trying to look for somebody who can do something like just edgy.
Yeah.
And first of all, I don't know what your rates are, because if there's any other way, if there's any other way, I can pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There can always be an exchange of services.
Exactly.
I mean, we're creative people.
Yeah.
We all need each
other. So
if
there's a way we can wiggle out, like, something.
Of course.
I need an intro from. Do you have a saxophone?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I need an intro, bro.
Okay.
Long story short, I need an intro from my podcast. Yeah.
You went on a tangent, and all you could have said was, "Bro, I need an intro."
I need It's because if I put you maybe on the spot, like on the podcast, now the next few episodes, people can start understanding. Where did this nice intro come from?
And then by the time we get to this episode, guys will be like, "Oh,
this makes sense." Now I understand.
Like this, a callback.
But you got me, bro, on this one.
I got you.
Don't lie to me.
I'm not lying to you.
Okay. The intro is done, guys.
The intro is done.
Wait for it. When it just comes to things concerning like just art, it's a bit different. Like, let's say on just how maybe parents can support.
Yeah.
But do you think, like, let's say for your case, you really do have how can I say? Like, a lot of people from your family have set like blueprints in like almost every category that they touch on. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you have like pressure to meet like certain standards or expectations? Because
not at all, man.
No, just easy. Junior, are you the last one?
Yeah, I'm the last one. Yeah.
Okay, so no pressure, man. It'd be like, that's Junior.
Exactly. Like, there's no pressure. Everyone has their own path.
Yeah.
Everyone reaches where they're going to reach at their own given time. What's yours is yours. That's just a fact.
True.
What's yours is yours, and no one could take that from you. And so each person is created with their own vision, their own path, fate, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
And so no, I don't feel the pressure. Yeah.
That's
there's no pressure.
No.
Yeah.
But do you feel like you need to meet certain like
Absolutely not.
That's a nice way of just waking up in the morning.
Of course. Like, the things that stress me is like, man.
Yeah.
It's more, how can I execute these things I have in my head?
Yeah.
Not for who should I execute them for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm feeding my own soul. At the end of the day, when I go to sleep, it's my eyes that are closing. I'm not closing your eyes. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think if you just approach life that way, you can be very at peace.
Because like, I've brought some people on the podcast, and some of them even are like doing, let's say, uni courses. And they're saying that they're actually doing it just so that, their parents can be happy, and then probably after like 7 or 8 years, they'll start pursuing their own passion. And I'm like, that's crazy. That's a whole 8 years that if you explain and just, not even explain. I mean, if you just do your thing and let them see like why this makes sense, you'll save a lot of time, I guess. And whatever you're passionate about, you'll definitely be 8 years ahead of the time that you had wasted.
Absolutely.
And
the thing is, what I say to that is, I can't knock anyone who does that.
Yeah.
Because, like we said at the beginning, everyone is brought up with their own context or whatever, and obviously doing something for someone else, I personally wouldn't do that. But I can't fault anyone that does, who wants to make their parents proud, who wants to, like, that's
or waste their money,
or waste their money. And like, what, you're doing a law degree, but you want to be like a musician or whatever. Who's to say that law degree won't help you? Of course it will.
It might come to play.
It might come, whether it's with a copyright law or whatever, like, and you get into a contract with someone, like, let's you say you sign a big deal and you're seeing the papers and you're like, hey, wait a minute, something is not adding up. And the thing that triggers that in your mind is the training that you had. You know? And so, is there really wasting money? Any skill that you're adding, is that really a waste? So to me, I say that like, fine, you might be convincing yourself that you're just doing this for your parents, but having that in your toolbox, man, having a skill like that in your toolbox, I can't fault that.
Actually, how you've put it actually now actually makes more sense than how I was looking at it. Just from your Instagram, I can say, because how I normally do my research is like, the only way I can do it is like going through someone's Instagram.
Photos, huh? Okay.
Yeah, so you just scroll down. You don't post a lot of videos though.
No.
Yeah. So I can see like just a history of like, just I can see how close you are with your sister. And definitely, if you say like, because I was like, if you don't say your sister is your source of inspiration, be like, this bastard, man. Like, come on.
No, I mean, like, family is really big to me, and I have 4 sisters, and they each are very, like, influential in my life, and all the women in my life for sure. Like, it's basically I've had 5 moms. Having 4.
Oh wait, you're the only.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I've basically had 5 moms. Growing up, and for sure they've always kept me focused or whatever. So yeah, I definitely look up to them 100%.
Just still on that context, when it comes to art, whether you're a musician, actor, DJ, all these things that you've mentioned, they will always kind of like take you kind of like slightly, they would take you away from your family. Yeah. Because you're supposed to be on tour. Right. If you're talking about doing these plays in different states and everything, if you're a DJ, of course, definitely means touring. Yeah. Whether it's music, how do you deal with that? How, like, are you that kind of person, like, you don't fall homesick? You're good with, because you're always like even a prime example would be like, how much time you spend away from just like the country, being away from like your parents. Yeah. How do you deal with that? You don't fall homesick, or you just?
No, for sure. I mean, for sure, I feel homesick. I mean, I miss my people here a lot, but I think I'm also very fortunate, that I get to see my parents often, because whether it's conferences that my parents are doing in the States or whatever, they always make the time to come see me, and like and things like that. So in that regard, I think but for sure, I obviously want to get to a point where, like, I think everyone does, being financially stable enough to see your family whenever you want to.
Anytime, like, somebody like calls, you can just.
To me, that's literally the only allure of being really financially successful, is just being able to see my family whenever I want to. Yeah.
And family is big, man. That's what shapes us. Like, if you're fortunate enough to have like those people around you,
of course,
they shape us, and they just kind of like guide us when we feel like a bit lost or lonely.
Totally, man.
Yeah.
Because they've known you
since you're like
Adam,
a kid,
man.
man.
Exactly.
And
So,
and now they're seeing you evolve to this, like, kind of person who's like, we're not expecting, Junior to grow dreads, or how do they feel about like maybe your dreads?
I mean, so many people in my family have dreads, so.
Oh, that's like a family thing as well.
It's not a family thing, but like it's not random.
I think the first time my mom saw me like just with braided hair, she was like going crazy. She was crying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she told me, if you don't chop your hair, I won't stop crying. I was like, yo, come on. There's no way you can cry for,
Cry
20 24 hours.
Yeah.
It's not possible. But after a while, she just got used to it and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, and then also on that, just maybe context. Let's talk about like your modeling thing as well.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to talk about it?
I mean, that's like,
Minimal,
yeah.
experimental.
Exactly, experimental, more so than anything. It's a case of circumstance. It's circumstantial more than pursuit, if that makes sense. So like I say I'm a model so that if there's like anyone who is looking like wants to work with me as a muse, at least they know that that's something that I'm interested in.
And you do
But
have like that African kind of look that a lot of people are using right now in the States, whether it be these high-end fashions. You see like A$AP Rocky. There's
Right.
that like kind of like African feel and just like free spirit kind of.
Yeah, but
that
I've
you
not
have
done
going
really
on.
any modeling work in like the States. I was talking mainly like here, because
Yeah.
like I think there's such like a lot of gifted photographers in this country, including my friend, the Kiss Bandit.
Oh yeah.
Quick plug, quick plug.
Okay. Plug there.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and so I think it's just freeing yourself and opening yourself to different possibilities and creative outlets. To me, that's important. Not
Yeah.
limiting myself.
Because you've done some crazy shoots as well.
Yeah.
And I think like, people are just like, yo, we still don't understand what he's doing.
Right.
Like, what was that like just something that you were experimenting with or
And I think that's
just
interesting.
pushing the envelope?
Yeah, I mean it's not like I set out to now today. I'm gonna push the envelope.
You're not ruffling anyone's feathers. It's just like you just trying.
Yeah, I'm expressing myself however I want to, and first of all, that makes me laugh that you're saying people are saying that it's just funny
because why I'm saying that, because
right.
There's nothing that Kenyans love more like just
gossip,
man.
Yeah,
gossip. And it's like the one thing, like they're always looking for something to talk about like the next week.
Yeah. Of
So when
course.
I say people, it's actually people because I don't know them.
Of course.
I don't know these people.
No, that's
I don't know them.
what I guess makes me laugh, like that
Yeah,
people are that when you say people are talking about me, I mean it's like such a foreign concept to me. But yeah, no, I think that's interesting, like that you say that people don't know what I'm doing or whatever, and to me that's awesome because it's like I keep people guessing, like
Yeah.
in terms of I don't need everyone to know like specifically what my passions are. Like when people say stay in your lane, that's like such a joke to me because it's like you, first of all, number one, you're driving your own car. Well, what business do you have
Yeah.
with the car I'm driving?
Yeah.
Whether I want to overtake you and change lanes, that's up to me. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So